What's going on, guys? Asian Guy here, very excited to bring you some updates and news from the Japan server of One Piece Treasure Cruise. We are going to be getting a new Legend Sanji, potentially a Super Evolution, and also a Luffy and Zoro dual unit. Now, of course, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, I believe, because this has not happened in the anime, but we already know Bandai have pretty much said F the anime watchers, it's all about the manga now, which is an era that I welcome as a manga reader. I do apologize for any anime onlys, but it's not the biggest spoiler in the world. Well, this one kind of is a big spoiler. I guess Kaido was also kind of a big spoiler, and so was the One Piece Stampede stuff, but you can't blame them for the Stampede stuff. That stuff aired in Japan ages ago. But yes, the Sanji is a tiny bit of a spoiler. We also have got a Legend Chopper incoming, Christmas themed. I think everyone and their grandmas have predicted this was going to happen for Christmas, and what you know, we finally have a Legend Chopper. Now, Legend Chopper is definitely not what people expected it to be, and not what they were really wanting, because what people want to see from Legend Chopper is something to do with the gimmicks, or maybe Captain Action, where he can transform into his different forms with the Rumble Ball. Just like Gear 4 Tankman Luffy, that legend was pretty interesting when it came out, but let's be real, kind of tedious to play with. However, let's begin here. So, what it says here, this Sanji and Luffy Zoro, they're all going to be legends. They are, so this Sanji, it says here, if I can zoom in a little bit here, Transform Sanji has a Captain Action, which I believe that says Talker, which means invisible or see-through, and then this will allow him, so this Captain Action will allow him to ignore debuffs and also ignore defensive effects. Now it says defense there, Borgyor. I don't know if that specifically means like the defense barrier, not the defense barrier, the defense buff, or defensive effects such as barriers. And if it's the latter and it ignores barriers, yeah boy, Sanji here is gonna be doing a madness. So this is the Germa 66 Raid Suit Sanji, or Stealth Black, or what's his name? Osoba Mask, I believe it is. So interesting stuff to come, and it is a V3 Sanji, guys. We're not going to do this whole nonsense with like V2, V3 Sabo, where Lucy is still Sabo, but people still call Sabo V2 Sabo, the Dex Sabo. And then we have the Sanji, we have V1 Sanji, V2 Sanji, and now we have Osoba Mask. We know it's Sanji, it's V3 Sanji. We're gonna put that down. I'm putting my foot down, V3 Sanji. Now with Luffy and Zoro, absolutely beautiful artwork, by the way, I absolutely love it. Luffy is holding a sword. I would love to see a slasher version of Luffy that's not because of the dual form, but in his singular form, a slasher version of Luffy would be very, very nice as well. Maybe there is a slasher version of Luffy. I believe the Raid Luffy, the zombie version, the unevolved version might be slasher. However, I want a proper one. I want a proper Luffy slasher. Not just because like Luffy and Law, where the Law side is the slasher. That don't count. That don't count. I want to see slasher Luffy. But Luffy and Zoro. Now what it says here is that this double character, they have very effective abilities, or they have very effective captain abilities. And what you want to do with these captain abilities is you want to rotate them depending on the scenario you're in, which would suggest they have very, very different captain abilities. Unlike, for example, let's say Sabo and Koala, or who's another double character that doesn't too much different? Sanji and Judge. Like those guys, they maintain the same boosts. Sabo and Koala has a tiny little bit of a different boost, you know, a little bit of extra recovery here and there. I want to see different gimmicks, like completely different gimmicks from these guys. Like something like Luffy and Ace, where Luffy is the very tanky side, Ace is the very damage heavy side, and the difference between those two captain abilities is very significant. Now that would be pretty funky on these guys, but I want to see a gimmick. I don't want it just to be base stats changed. I don't want one side to be tankier than the other, or one side has more damage than the other, because let's be real, either of these guys are, they're both basically tanks, and they both have a crap ton of damage in the story, in lore, just in everything. That's how it should function, but I want to see something interesting. Or maybe one side can bypass barriers, or one type of shield, another type can reduce damage taken, or bypass another kind of shield. That would be pretty awesome if you ask me. I just hope. And either way, I really hope this will buff up slashers again, because slashers, while they're not weak, they're not absurdly strong. You know, like Powerhouse, Free Spirit, Cerebral are busted right now, but you know, or color teams are pretty strong as well, you know, with like the One Piece Stampede units. But slashers, I'm not seeing that much love. This might change stuff, and let's be real, Sanji is going to be probably fighter and powerhouse. If he's not fighter powerhouse, I'd be very surprised. But another very powerful powerhouse unit incoming. So there's that. Let's move on to Legend Chopper. We don't know what the abilities do yet for these guys, but when they do, I will be dropping it on the channel, so don't worry about that. Legend Chopper, Shooter Cerebral. Now, Legend Chopper is a fantastic unit for new players. Rerollers, he's just a great starter unit, and the reason why is because he is a 3.5 times Rainbow Captain, 1.25 times Rainbow HP, and double the amount of cotton candy obtained during this adventure. So he will duplicate every single cotton candy that is dropped. So if you have 5 attack cotton candy dropped in one stage, that's going to become 10 attack cotton candy dropped in that stage or duplicated. And if you have double chopper, you're going to have 15 in total. So 15 attack candy from an original 5 becomes 15. So that's pretty awesome. Very good attack boost, very good HP boost for a universal captain, which is always very, very good. However, if you're more of a late game player, you probably have tons of cotton candy left over, loads and loads and loads, and you don't really need to be looking for any more. What you want to see is his special, because his special, oh my god, Utility God, reduces 5 turns of paralysis, burn, bind, despair, special seal, attack down, increased damage taken, recovery down, and blindness. Completely removes all forms of poison. So Chopper heals the world. He just heals the world, and for 3 turns heals 12/0/24 at the end of the turn. So that would be midnight, December the 12th, not December the 12th, the 24th of December, which is the 12th month, 24th day at midnight, which is a 0. Christmas, that's 12/0/24. And yeah, that is just a fantastic, fantastic special. Pair him up with Corazon. Yeah, you know, you can basically get rid of all the debuffs that you don't like. Other than normal attack damage down, because that's a stupid debuff that nobody likes, and that Big Mom debuff, which I haven't seen in ages, and I hope it never comes back, which cuts your recovery down to like, or all forms of healing to like 1%. That was some BS. I don't want to see that ever again. But Sailor ability. His first Sailor ability will heal an extra 150 HP each time recovery orbs are consumed. So if you are giving your sockets meat rate up or meat recovery up, that's very good. That's an extra bonus, 150 HP. Very good for those zombie teams. Very good for those GARP teams and stuff like that for the GARP challenges. So all that gimmicky stuff. Very, very good legend here. Sailor ability 2 will reduce 5 turns of special seal on himself. Good number, because sometimes 3 turns, 2 turns is not enough, and you want 5 turns. Very, very good. I don't believe Corazon reduces special silence for himself. He reduces it for the crew, which is sometimes not as useful. And then, support ability 5. Support ability at level 5. Reduce 6% incoming int damage, 13% HP and recovery to support characters, and he supports all of the Straw Hat units, but you're most likely never going to be using that support ability there. We have Kureha and Hidoruk. That was very bad. I'm sorry about that. Cerebral and Driven, also a Psy unit. They are going to be, I don't believe they're a double unit, unfortunately. They just seem to be one of those, like the Stampede Raid units. They're just 2 units in one, or 2 characters in 1 unit, not necessarily a double character, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Psy and Ink character attack 2.5 times, heal 1000 HP at the end of the turn as the captain ability. Nothing too special there, but the special is pretty solid, and they will change Bomb Empty Block to Matching Orbs, and for 1 turn boost attack of crew by 1.75 times, and for 1 turn boost color affinity of Psy and Ink units by 1.75 times. So maybe, just maybe, Luffy and Zoro are Psy and Ink. We don't know. It's possible, but we're not 100% sure yet. They themselves will treat recovery orbs as beneficial, and they will counter 2 turns of special rewind and special seal on themselves, and support once during the adventure when the support character triggers a special, change bomb and empty orbs of crew to matching orbs, and they support Chopper, and for 1 turn boost attack of supported character by 1.5 times. So it's okay. That's an okay special. We have got Wappo, beg your pardon, as well, who's an int unit, shooter driven unit. Nothing special about the stats there, and his captain ability is not that great. 2.5 times attack boost, reduce incoming damage by 10%, and 1.5 times berry obtained. His special will, until the captain hits a perfect, the slot of the captain can't be changed. If there are 3 or more characters with a strength, dex, or quick orb, for 1 turn, lock chain to 2.75 times. When there are 3 or more characters with a Scion in orb for 1 turn, boost attack against enemies with defense down by 1.75 times. Alright, let me read that again. Until the captain hits a perfect, the slot of the captain can't be changed. So he does that new, on Raid Carrot, we got a new debuff, or a new debuff, it could be considered a buff as well, kind of, where the orb cannot be shuffled, it cannot be changed whatsoever. If it's a rainbow orb, it can't be, you know, shuffled away. That's absolutely okay, but it locks it in, so even if the enemy tries to orb shuffle you, even if you try to orb shuffle yourself, that lock will prevent any sort of shuffling. So I think that's what it's going to be. Until the captain hits a perfect, the slot of the captain can't be changed. If there are 3 or more characters with strength, dex, or quick orb for 1 turn, lock chain to 2.75 times. That's okay. When there are 3 or more characters with a silent in orb for 1 turn, boost attack against enemies with defense down by 1.75 times. That's an okay special. I would say that's an okay special. That's nothing too great, but I'm sure there's gonna be an instance where you absolutely want this special. It is a new mechanic. I'm sure there are many gimmicks that will rock that. So that's interesting. That is interesting. But those are the new units incoming. So Legend Chopper and double character dual Zoro and Luffy, along with Osoba Mask or Stealth Black Sanji. So I'm very excited for the New Year Legends. Please do not pull on the Christmas Sugo-fest. I am begging you guys. You have got the information here. If you pull on the Christmas Sugo-fest and you get absolutely shafted, shame on you. That is, you can't blame anyone. You cannot blame anyone. If you end up falling for the bait that is the Christmas Chopper Sugo-fest, shame on you. Please do not pull on that Sugo-fest. Save your gems. Hide your children and wait for Stealth Black Sanji and the Luffy and Zoro Legends. They are going to be absolutely busted. You know they're going to be broken. The first Legends of 2020. I cannot wait. I will see you guys when I pull on that Sugo-fest, because I'm inevitably going to pull. We all know I'm going to pull. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And remember to hashtag Dunkabandai with a Bellissimo and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Good luck on your Sugo-fest pulls, unless you're pulling on Chopper. I wish you the worst of luck, because you should not be pulling on Christmas Chopper. He's going to be available in the New Year Sugo-fest, so please, don't do it. Don't do it. Alright, just don't do it. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.